Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever, whenever that you may be tuning in. This is Yonks with Gigs Go Green, and join with me are our Gigs Go Green core team, at least some of them, including my superpower, Mrs. Yonks, Tyler, Amy, and Jason Webb. So good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for participating here on this live stream this afternoon. We've got a lot of agenda, so I'm just going to hop right over. One of the things that have been switching to a little bit, and this is just to make it easier for everybody to contribute, but doing our agenda in Google Docs, and this is something still use Notion on the back end for keeping track of everything. I'm not going to unpack the philosophy behind that, but this is our second working group where we're primarily talking about our Kickstarter campaign, which is going to function as our official launch for Gigs Go Green. And I was looking when we held the last working group since this is working group 2, it was literally the end of January here in 2024, and a lot has unfolded since then. So one thing that I want to talk about is one of the things, begin with the end in mind. And my personal goal is to see whether it's during a pre-launch or during the Kickstarter is to see 100 members onboarded into Tesla Black DAO. And that's the primary goal with this Kickstarter campaign, is to launch Tesla Black DAO, which we're positioning as a phase 1 for Gigs Go Green. So does anybody have any thoughts on that? I mean, I think that that's a fairly simple and clear goal before we move on down this bullet point here. Nope. Okay. So one of the aspects that we've got is right now primarily looking at WordPress multi-site, and there's lots of different reasons that looking at WordPress multi-site, but one of the things that we're wanting to implement is a 2-tier affiliate program. And this is one that I know for sure that we can implement. We had it implemented before within a previous project that we were working on. So let me bring open this scope of work that created for WordPress multi-site. And one of the reasons that we're wanting to, and I keep on adding to this list as far as some initial domains, and one of the things that I added since probably anybody else has looked at this, is a priority as far as from an implementation dynamic, and with 1 to 5, with 1 being the highest. And there's only one priority with a number 1, and that's for Tesla Black. And there's some other conversations. I'm not going to unpack all of these as far as the initial domains. And this is the WordPress plugin affiliate for WooCommerce that I know has the 2-tier affiliate program that we've implemented and tested before. And before we go on, is there any other options that anybody's aware of that supports a 2-tier affiliate program?
Yeah, you can actually use a Go High Level platform. They do offer a 2-tier, actually multi-tier affiliate program now. They just released that in the last, I think, about 2 months. So that is an option. There's a couple more, but I do like the WooCommerce.
Yeah, and the nice thing about because the other functionality is that we're wanting to do WordPress multi-site with a lot of domains, where we're wanting to have one WordPress database on the back end that I think that we can use as the same affiliate within the ecosystem. But I'll put Go High Level on the radar for us to explore. I'm going to take a quick tangent here because in Notion, I'll bring open our DAO solutions and tools database. So let me bring this on screen, and this is one of the ways that we're constantly evaluating solutions, tools, service providers, vendors, and other stuff like that. And I'm not going to unpack all of this right now. Let me just go here to project, condense all of these guys. So like right now we've tagged 27 different tools and solutions. I'll add Go High Level here to the database. Like one that we're going to be talking about here that we talked a little bit about before we went live was 28 Lions. And Jason is familiar with Nicole in his Facebook community, and it sounds like that he's used her and her agency for branding. So I'll add Go High Level here to this database, and we can take that conversation offline. So getting back to the agenda, so go highlevel.com, add to Notion database for exploring. So right now, one of the thoughts is like one of the things that we've put forward and some of the takeaway that we had, most people that have had a successful Kickstarter campaign unilaterally agree that it's best to do pre-marketing before your Kickstarter campaign goes live, because you really want to have some early momentum in your Kickstarter campaign, because the main objective that we've got with Kickstarter is to tap into the virality. And I don't know exactly what that looks like as far as the Kickstarter algorithm. And one of the things that Tyler and I had some conversations surrounding is our concerns, thoughts, is that we're still largely operating with the belief of doing a webinar marketing strategy to build this out. So one of the things that we've talked about historically is about positioning, doing a pre-launch where we have a reduced membership for Tesla Black DAO, and we are setting the normal membership to be a $97 a year membership. And this is an opportunity, I think, that makes sense for us to, during a pre-launch, to do a pre-launch opportunity instead of the $97 a year, doing a $69 a year, and then also potentially offering a lifetime membership of $297. And that's something that I know that I would personally commit to onboarding in at a lifetime membership of $297. And then when the Kickstarter goes live, we could actually pull the pre-launch price and the lifetime membership. So, and I don't know, like from a timeline standpoint, and one of the things that I think makes a lot of sense is to get something online as fast as possible. And we think that we could get something with a WordPress multi-site framework using our existing hosting provider. And this is like talking about the DIY versus hiring technology solutions providers, moving down to this next step on our agenda. We've been using Rose Hosting for years as a VPS solution, and one of the things that we love about Rose Hosting is they have absolutely fabulous customer service. And this is something that Tyler can even attest, that she has engaged their customer service, and Tyler's less technical on the techno scale than I am. Did you want to comment on that at all, Tyler?
As far as the websites go, or which part?
Just Rose Hosting and their customer service.
Their service is pretty incredible. I mean, we can get a hold of them by email about 24/7, and they fix and resolve things pretty quickly, and they recommend solutions. They don't just give us random errors. They say, hey, this is the problem, and this is what you need to do. That aside, what we've mainly been using them for are housing domains and running super basic websites. We haven't built out a full-scale e-commerce site with lots of graphics and a really kind of beautiful front-end site. So I'm assuming that their support would be that good, but I don't actually know. So what we've been using them for has been great, but that's my caveat.
Yeah, and we have used them for doing WordPress, and we've got them to get our WordPress multi-site configured, and they have pretty affordable pricing tiers on the VPS. And the nice thing about VPS services is that it's very easy to scale up the service. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that Rose Hosting is the best for like a global dynamic, but when you think about what we're primarily looking to do, where we're focused on launching Colorado, largely expecting a good majority of the traffic to be coming from Colorado for the initial phase. So I think the opportunity is to continue to evaluate and explore solutions providers, but like one of the things that I am supportive of is getting a triple win foundation Rose hosting account and then setting up this, because that's one of the things that we're looking to do within our ecosystem as far as being in the 3-win DAO ecosystem, is providing some of these costs at the foundation level for the entire ecosystem at large. Does anybody else want to chime in any thoughts or concerns about that? I think that this is something that we could get spun up within the next 24 to 72 hours. One of the things that's kind of like a time sensitive thing from our perspective, and this goes to this line item here, is that there's 2 events this next week on May 22nd and May 23rd. And I would kind of like to see some potentially get a little bit of traction on Colorado coblockchain.org. That's not necessarily at all related to Gigs Go Green, but it's part of the complex strategy that we're continuing to build on to play the long game, if you will. And this is one of the things that we, with Colorado blockchain, that we can see providing a mechanism to pass pro-crypto regulations. And what is related to Gigs Go Green, one of the needs and opportunities that we have right now, the way that I understand renewable energy certificates, is that Excel, the energy company with community solar that we build out, will consume those renewable energy credits. But I'm going to stop talking and let anybody else chime in some thoughts before we move down the list here. All right. Well, nobody had anything. So I also sent out some collateral. Well, we talked. We've had a little bit of conversation, and Liberation Tech is one of these technology solutions providers that we've evaluated. Their proposal, I think, came in a little above 9K, and that's about double what we had any about appetite for. And one of the reasons like that we're looking at 28 Lions is that that's more of a branding as far as a look and feel. And I think the opportunity to segment out and get quality people to fulfill at probably a lower cost, and then do some of this like DIY / some lower cost technology solutions providers, I think makes more sense than spending what I would consider a larger spend from a technology solutions provider. Does anybody want to provide any thoughts on the Liberation Tech proposal right now beyond that?
I thought they were overpriced.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tyler, completely. I think that they were overpriced for what we're really trying to look at starting at this beginning. I don't think we're needing everything on that proposal.
And like one of the things that was kind of interesting about Liberation Tech too is that they seem to be, for pro-privacy people, a great option, because one of the things that they have is a non like an alternative to some of the mainstream video applications. And then like it seems that they had also created a Google Analytics alternative. And right now with our strategy that we build radically transparent, very in the open, and one of the things that I'm expecting to do is do a substantial amount of Facebook advertising. And there's a lot of value of sprinkling in the Facebook tracking pixels to ensure that you're getting a great return. So the thoughts of like decreasing the visibility from some of the big tech companies like Meta, Facebook, Google, and stuff is that we'll probably lean into that, because we're probably going to be architecting a fairly decent advertising spend. And that's one of the things that had a little bit of conversation, not really wanting to do that spend at the organizational level, wanting to do that more through the lens of affiliates like Tyler and I through Yonks team, the personal team brand that we're building out, and then have this replicable framework. And this kind of goes back into why that we're wanting to do a 2-tier affiliate program. And like to go to the next line item here, as far as another technology solutions provider, SodaTech is somebody that has the sales director or sales VP there. We've been connected on LinkedIn for several years. And when I did the post that I pushed out to my network there on LinkedIn, as far as being a co-founder with Colorado Blockchain, he reached out to me, and it seems that SodaTech, I don't know what that will look like, and I don't know if it makes sense to embrace, but they seem to have a lot more full suite of capabilities, especially as far as like whether it's developing an app or a DApp or like an exchange. Like one of the things that we've talked about is creating a cooperative exchange through P-Token, formerly known or soon to be formerly known as Retoken DAO. It seems that they may have some capabilities. Ultimately, I would like to see that come in-house at some point, where we have our own dev team through this decentralized autonomous ecosystem that we're building out. But that's likely going to take months and or potentially years for us to get to that, and the opportunity to get some tangible products created within a reasonable time frame through outsourcing, near sourcing, or however that you want to call it. And we do have Leo, the salesperson there at SodaTech, did grab a time on Mrs. Yonks. So if calendar for 6:30 on Tuesday. Nick had a conflict today, but it sounded like that's something that he's able to participate in. And if anybody else wants to participate in, let me know, and we'll get you the invite forwarded for that. So moving down the list here. So we talked about having the call schedule with SodaTech. So branding agency, 28 Lions. This is somebody that I met through Jason Webb's Facebook community and connected with Nicole. And I don't know if you remember Eric that was on our one of our Hero X for Solve It, the last Hero X submission that we did. But Eric is actually Nicole's husband. And so did you want to share some thoughts on 28 Lions and Nicole here, Jason, real quick?
Yeah, definitely. I've known Nicole for a little while now through our community and our group. My partner with the community, he's had extensive dealings with Nicole in the past few years. She's an incredible talent. She's moved over to build her own agency here called 28 Lions. Very reputable, very ethical in what she does, and just incredibly creative and talented. So I highly recommend her work.
Awesome. So what we will do, and this was, I appreciate you sending the email that you did to echo those thoughts there on the email, and in anticipation of moving the conversation forward with 28 Lions. Anybody that would like to be in that conversation, created a Let Us Meet here. So feel free to add your availability, have this running through pretty much all next week so that we can find the most inclusive time for those that are interested in being on that conversation. So thanks for the sharing that. And I think that the opportunity, because one of the things that's a need is our Kickstarter too. And I don't know if that's something that, and let me go there real quick. Gigs Go Green. So this is one of the things, since this is our Kickstarter call, let me scroll to our page for our Kickstarter. So this is a private preview. So this is what we've got on our Kickstarter campaign. Absolutely nothing. So this is kind of intentional, but and this is where, we're having the conversation as far as when we're looking to pre-launch. One of the things that we did put forward, and I don't want to commit to a date right now. I think I'm really liking the idea of setting up WordPress, because at the end of the day, I think that I would rather people, if they wanted to onboard through Kickstarter or through our WordPress site, to do that, but there may be some additional benefits of people onboarding through the Kickstarter. But either way, the Kickstarter is only going to be live for likely 4 or 5 weeks. And just from a timing standpoint, one of the things that we're wanting to do whenever we do get our go live date set for the Kickstarter, when there's approximately 1 week left, that's when we're wanting to flip the switch for our Colorado regulation crowdfunding, where and the main difference for people that aren't familiar with like Kickstarter versus what we're looking to do with Chainraise is a equity crowdfunding platform. So with Kickstarter, this is where we're looking to onboard members into Tesla Black DAO. And we're primarily architecting Gigs Go Green for the primary benefit of these Uber and Lyft drivers in these gig workers. Chainraise is where investors can onboard through regulation crowdfunding and actually have equity. Kickstarter, there's no equity. So it's functionally a very different type of crowdfunding dynamic. So that's what we're kind of looking to do there from the so the other thing too, did anybody else want to chime in any thoughts before we move down the line here and talk about Crowd Create and the proposal that they sent forward?
I think they were overpriced too, but yeah,
So Crowd Create sent us a proposal, and I can't remember exactly what that looked like. And I would agree, like we're still very much in a bootstrapping phase, and I do think that they have some capabilities because Boyana from Crowd Create, who we had a conversation with, was sending a Kickstarter campaign that they're working on, and I think that we should really like figure out what we can look, because we'll have a lot better feel as far as if we're struggling. And that's the nice thing about doing this pre-launch strategy, is that we can set our Kickstarter, like let's say 30 to 90 days from now, we are still in pre-launch until we do our Kickstarter. And I would really like to see it be on the shorter side of that, but I think that we'll have a better. Go ahead.
Oh, so I was messing around with Brooke a little bit. Did you already talk about Sundaria?
No, let me put.
Is she on the list, or is that for later?
No, we can talk about that. We will still have 20 minutes left, but let's
Okay.
finish talking about Crowd Create before we move down the list there.
Well, this was why I brought this up with Crowd Create was, Sundaria was this woman that we met at this content conference that we went to, and she had a very successful Kickstarter. And one of the things that Crowd Create is trying to do, I think they're on the right track, but I don't think that they are nearly target marketed enough for what we need. And I think if we do the stuff that Sundaria she gave us a roadmap for her Kickstarter. I think it'd be interesting to see if we do that, what it looks like, and then go back to Crowd Create and then say, here's what we have. Because right now, I feel like everybody's trying to build us from the ground up, and they all have sort of different ideas. And some people are trying to build a house, some people are trying to build a skyscraper and whatever. And I think that we haven't done enough of the deliverables to give Crowd Creator any of these guys a better idea of exactly what we have to grow. And they're all trying to build us from the ground up. That's why I brought that up.
Yeah, and Soundaria had an absolutely fabulous story. She transitioned from I think she had like a 200K salary situation at Salesforce, and she is from India. And then like one of the things that is a struggle for people that want to create a better life here, because India is very much still a country that's under construction. And she shared her story, but she is the founder of Unshackled, which is a member-based community, and she wrote a book, and she actually launched her book via Kickstarter. And one of the things that Tyler and I are committed to, and this is one of the things that will be in our Kickstarter campaign, is doing a we own book. And that's one of the things that we need to get some collateral surrounding, because like one of the things that we have created is we are now patent pending for methods for cooperative ownership using blockchain property tokens. And Gigs Go Green is all about increasing ownership, hence the we own, through a cooperative model in these synergistic cooperatives. But we'll summarize some of the details that she had. She, besides creating a book, she also has a member community, unshackled.club. And those of you that know, like, let me bring this over. And this will be a good opportunity too, that we can circle back with Soundaria. I connected with her on LinkedIn, and she helps other people because there's a fairly large visa population of Indians that have visas here. And this is something that I have personal experience with because I actually worked for corporate India from circa 08 to 2013. The startup, Silicon Valley startup that I was in since 2000, got acquired by an India-based company that's a very large India-based company, and but very familiar with the H-1B lottery, and she obtained a O1 visa, which is a lot more flexible as far as the requirements. And so she's created this absolutely fabulous community where she gets to tell her story and has a lot more freedom by being unshackled. And I don't know if the relation to that is shackled to a corporation as far as a job, or shackled through the H-1B visa that a lot of immigrants are here to. So we'll circle back with her. And like Tyler says, she was generous and shared her playbook with us. And I don't know if I could find, let me see if I can find a site, Kickstarter.com, unshackled book. If I could find it, we'll have to look later on that. But yeah. So anyway, that was the things that we had for the agenda. We've got a few minutes left here. How's everybody thinking as far as this pre-launch, and then really getting a solid strategy so that we can slam dunk our Kickstarter?
One of the things that I would really like to do, and Jason, I don't know if you've already done this or not, is make a really detailed list of every piece of collateral that we need: photos, videos, copy. Like, I know we've kind of joked around, so like, oh, we need everything, but everything is not a checklist. So can we offline sometime soon get a checklist of exactly what we need, and then start seeing who can do what, and let's just block and tackle it?
Yeah, we definitely can. We can build that out. I can build that out here this week to get that out. I do need to know what kind of assets we already currently have. In terms of where are we wanting to launch this at. I know all of our different socials. Each one's definitely going to need different assets for that. So we can definitely talk about all of that offline and get that list built out.
That'd be awesome. That'd be fantastic.
And just to summarize, like, and I think that this is like one of the things that I would expect a branding agency to provide, whether that's 28 Lions or whomever that we decide to go with, is a media kit where we would create a media kit that other affiliates could use in the promotion of our things. Because one of the things that I would like to see us be strategic about is partnering with influencers that are influencers within the ride share app space, so that we can get them on board to be affiliates, whether it's during pre-launch or whether it's, because we're also going to be using kickbooster.me for kickbooster.me for an overlay for our affiliate marketing program there for our Kickstarter. So getting some rideshare app influencers, whether, and their different influencers have different presence, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever, because most people don't have influencer presence on all of those channels and kind of put that together. We did have a conversation with Chris Perillo from Chainraise just to kind of bring him up to speed, and he's in complete agreement that we need to absolutely have a fabulous slam dunk on our Kickstarter campaign. And I think the opportunity of getting the media kit created through the conversation with a branding agency. So people that are interested in being on that conversation with Nicole and her partner at 28 Lions, be sure to add your availability. There's one other thing that I wanted to bring up real quick, and this isn't necessarily related to the Kickstarter, but there is an opportunity, like we worked through the Hero X Solve It. And while I'm bringing up that email, I'm going to go on mute real quick to let anybody else chime in some thoughts on the agenda here today.
Jason, what are your thoughts in general? I know you have done obviously more marketing than all of us.
Yeah,
What are
not
your
a problem.
thoughts?
My thoughts, well, just going through the agenda first today, it's great to get caught up on everything and knowing where we're at, where we're pushing forward through, pre-launch tactics. We need to get a strategic plan together for that. But we already have some foundational pieces within this. Just even the affiliate side, we need to get the pieces together about the actual details of the two-tier affiliate program. If we get into the influencer sides, what are the benefits for them? Unique selling positions. Like, we need to get all those together. But I love the progress that we're making towards this, and I think we need to do these more regularly.
I mean, how regularly can you guys commit to? We had been doing weekly for a while. When we were in super launch mode for different things, short sprints of twice a week, but I don't know if once a week is too much, twice a week, once every 2 weeks.
To clarify real quick here, Tyler, this is the second working group that we've talked about for the Kickstarter, and our last one was in January. So, part of the reason for that is that we have continued to submit for Hero X, and I still think but there's not any additional Hero X opportunities. And we got but go ahead, Jason. I know that you were going to chime in some thoughts too.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, probably right now, if we're pushing for a quicker launch, I would say at least every 2 weeks for now, at least until we can get some clear direction and clear tasks that each of us need to, accomplish.
And I'll create a working group here for not this coming week, because having the call with 28 Lions, and then we also have some other opportunities that I'm going to be spending a little bit of resources around, which is this line item here with Colorado blockchain. And part of the reason that I'm going to be spending some resources on that is Fit21 is a very important regulation that's going to be going forward, and that's one of the reasons that we're leaning into Colorado blockchain right now, is that this is a opportunity to plant some seeds with another member organization that will strategically fit in our ecosystem and provide a vehicle that we can get the larger crypto audience in Colorado in tandem with what we're doing. That's not a very Gigs Go Green or Web3 Freedom Club. So I'll send some details out to everybody as far as the Fit21. Tyler and I are going to be making some calls, so we'll put something on. And let me take a look at the calendar real quick here. So this is the Web3 Freedom Club calendar. So this next week is, and then we've got Memorial Day here on May the 27th. So I'll get this Let Us Meet created for Tuesday through, I'll just run it through Sunday, and we can see what makes the most sense for this last week of May, first week of June to have our next working group. And if we think that we should have a working group sooner than that, but I'm kind of thinking that with what I just mentioned, I'm kind of liking this next working group number 3 for our Kickstarter / launch strategy for Gigs Go Green. What is everybody's thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm great with that, and I will jump on the Let Us Meet to put availability for the 28 Lions meeting too.
Awesome. Let's see. Okay, and I'm bringing up here. So here is the Solve It update. So this is the opportunity for people to, if anybody's interested, IRSVP for this. I don't. It would be absolutely fabulous if we get a nod with the project that we submitted for this. I tend to set low expectations because this is not the first one that we have submitted, but I feel very fortunate through the HeroX. It's really how that I feel that we've continued to refine the narrative, not only refine, but really create the narrative for Gigs Go Green. And regardless of whether we get the nod from Department of Energy, I think that there's still an opportunity for us because it'll likely have a break here through the summer, but the opportunity, they seem to do stuff like June or July-ish. So I'm going to kind of keep an eye. I'm on their email list, but I'll throw this in a link on the agenda as well. So let me add this as a next action. Create, let us meet for working group number 3 after Memorial Day on May 27th. And then if interested in HeroX Solve It prize announcement. And here's the link for that. All right, 5 minutes left. What else do we got, everybody?
I think that's it from my perspective.
All right, well, we covered a lot of ground in a short period of time here. Go ahead, whomever. Amy.
Yeah, I just wanted to like chime in on the influencers. I could probably get the list of whoever is doing on the specific group that we're doing, the ride share or the, kind of get a list from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whoever is leading that platform, and submit it to you guys.
Yeah, and just to amplify that, I'll take a look and see if we have any type. I'm not thinking of, but just having like a document that we can use as far as our pre-launch and launch strategy, so that we can just have all of that in one thing that we can continue to update. And that would be one section that we absolutely need to have so that we can collaborate on that. And one of the things that I want to get better at, we get better at, is using and creating tasks in DWork for various sorts of things so that we can, again, just get better as we work towards, because the goal with what we're doing here is to create a model that we can replicate on a state-by-state basis. And it'll look a little different because I'm not necessarily expecting that we're going to get to do a Kickstarter every time we look to launch a state, because one of the things about how that we're positioning this Kickstarter is that we're not going to be restricting who joins Tesla Black DAO, that they only have to be in Colorado, because I believe that we can provide an immense amount of value to people independent of them being in Colorado or not in Colorado, through the education that we provide to, like with the helping them set up their own GoFundMe, so that we can start working on creating a Gigs Go Green movement through this movement marketing strategy that we're architecting here for Gigs Go Green. I think that we should absolutely focus our marketing efforts and dollars as far as Colorado, but one of the things that we can also do if we're struggling to get enough members onboarded, like we can start looking at some other states that we've already shortlisted, like New York and Minnesota and Illinois, as far as expanding marketing efforts into those states, because those reasons that those states are on our short list is because that they have favorable community solar regulations. So anyway, any final thoughts before we call this a wrap here today?
Thanks, everybody.
All right, we'll have a
everybody.
safe drive back to Colorado from your conference there in Nebraska, Jason, and looking forward to connecting with those that are interested on the 28 Lions conversation that we have. And look, I feel really good about getting some alignment as far as the direction here, and we'll take the conversations into the whatever you want to call it, offline or online, however.
Sounds good.
Have
Thanks,
a good
guys.
weekend and happy birthday again to Brooke.
Yes, thank you so much. All right, bye.